Do you have any idea what it was they're just kind of saying it's precautionary. It's like lower body soreness. Is that just a wear and tear type situation, or do you think that could be something that's nagging as the season goes on?
It
And
sounds
I know
like
you're
something along the lines.
speculating with this.
I'm speculating along with everybody
Yeah,
else, but if they
yeah,
are
yeah.
saying that it was probably just like a nagging hip flexor, or maybe something grabbed
Mhm,
him on a hamstring, nothing too worried about. But if he misses 2 games in a row, if he misses 3 games in a row, I'm going to start to get
mhm.
a little concerned. But right now, I'm going to pump the brakes and believe what the Yankees are saying. Yes, I know you heard me say that out loud. Believe what the Yankees are saying for now, but I'm only giving them about 48 hours to believe them.
What's the worst, not like the worst injury you've had, but just the most annoying nagging injury? Like, you've been able to kinda play
You know
through it, but
what?
maybe you're in and out, like, is there one that stands out to you?
So, of my injuries, and I'll take you through a bunch of injuries that I had.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
worst, most painful one I ever had was separating my left shoulder. That was just a truly excruciating experience. Blowing out my ankle. I tore up my ankle running down the first
Oh,
base line at first base. I tripped on a first baseman's foot, landed wrong, just snapped it basically in half. I came back at the end of the season, but I missed 3 months. Um,
mhm.
on top of that, though, those weren't the worst injuries. The two worst injuries I ever had. One was only for 2.5 weeks. But if you've ever pulled an oblique, it is
Oh,
horrific if you're a baseball player. Oh, it's horrific in general. But if you're a
yeah.
baseball player,
Yep.
my God, everything you do involves your oblique. So whenever you hear an oblique injury in Major League Baseball, especially from someone like a power pitcher, I immediately, if I have any bet on that guy, I hedge off that bet as quick as I humanly can because that oblique is not going anywhere. It's just too much torque to put on one's body. And quite frankly, you need roughly to successfully come back from a serious oblique injury, you need about 2 months. I was able to get back in 2 weeks because it was the last game of the season. That's the only reason I came back in 2 weeks. On top of that, the worst injury I ever had, I had to play at the plate once during infield
Mhm,
outfield practice. Ball thrown in the
mhm.
dirt, hits the plate. I'm trying to get there and like block it. And I'm almost like doing an alligator thing with my glove and my hand on top. Nothing big deal. Should be perfectly fine. Ball bounces up, smokes these two middle fingers directly. Smoked them direct and hits it, and ball just goes down. I don't notice a thing. I pick up the ball, plays dead. We're fine. I walk out to the pitcher. I put the ball in his glove. It's covered in blood. I knocked both nails off my
Whoa.
finger and
Oh,
shattered both fingertips, just the tips. The
oh.
rest of the finger, perfectly fine. Fingertips
Just above
broken
the
in three
knuckle?
pieces.
Just above this knuckle
Yep,
right here? Almost the wrong
all
finger,
above
I
the
don't know.
knuckle. It was the worst injury I had ever experienced. I was luckily
Oh,
back in about a month, but my God, I never knew pain until about 10 minutes after that play happened. And then all of a
oh,
sudden the
yeah,
feeling
yeah.
came into my hand, and man, I would have done anything to take that away.